The political crisis in Maharashtra, where it's clear now that Uddhav Thackeray is in a very, very precarious position. It looks like the rebel camp led by Eknath Shinde has the numbers now, and this is how it's looking today. Firstly, the top developments at this hour. Sanjay Raut of the Shiv Sena has said that the party is ready to consider breaking away from the MVA alliance in the state if that's what the rebel MLAs want. But for that, they have to come back to Mumbai first and hold talks with Uddhav Thackeray. So he's saying that they are ready to break away from that Congress NCP Shiv Sena alliance. Also, that they are ready for a floor test. Meanwhile, in other developments, one of the rebel MLAs who returned from the rebel group, Nitin Deshmukh, he claims that many of the MLAs have been kidnapped, including himself. But today, Uddhav Thackeray held a meeting where only 13 Shiv Sena MLAs turned up out of the 55, which is their total strength. We now know that 37 rebels from the Shiv Sena are with Eknath Shinde in Guwahati in Assam, along with 5 independents. So he has had this show of strength with this video that he's released showing 42 MLAs in all on his side, including 37 from the Shiv Sena. And the 37 number is particularly important because that's 2/3 of the Shiv Sena's total strength in the assembly. And that is the number that Eknath Shinde needs to be able to break the party without inviting the anti-defection law and having the MLAs disqualified. So he's got that magic number of 37. But clearly, the Uddhav Thackeray side is not giving up just yet. We've heard Sanjay Raut make that offer of even offering to quit from the MVA. Let's just listen to what Sanjay Raut said.
त्यांना जे सांगायचं आहे त्यांनी सांगितलंय. कैलास पाटलांनी जे सांगितलेलं आहे ते त्यांनी सांगितलेलं आहे. आता शेवटचा जो मिनिट आहे तो मी घेतो. जे आमदार आता या क्षणी महाराष्ट्राच्या बाहेर आहे आणि त्यांनी हिंदुत्वाचा वगैरे काही मुद्दा उपस्थित केलेला सामने देखता या सर्व आमदारांची इच्छा जर असेल, हे मी जबाबदारीने बोलतो, या सगळ्या आमदारांची इच्छा आणि भूमिका असेल की महाविकास आघाडीतून शिवसेनेने बाहेर पडलं पाहिजे आणि एक वेगळा विचार केला पाहिजे. त्यांनी आधी महाराष्ट्रात यावं, मुंबईत यावं आणि त्यांची जी मागणी आहे ती मागणी अधिकृतपणे शिवसेना पक्षप्रमुखांसमोर त्यांनी मांडावी. त्यांच्या मागणीचा नक्की विचार होईल, पण आधी मुंबईत यायची हिंमत दाखवा. तिथे बसून तुम्ही पत्रव्यवहार करू नका. तिथे बसून पत्रव्यवहार करू नका. इथे मोबाईलवर, व्हॉट्सअपवर किंवा अन्य ट्विटरवर. आपण पक्के शिवसैनिक आहात. आपण शिवसैनिक असल्याचं सांगताय. आम्ही शिवसेना सोडणार नाही असं सांगताय. पण आमची भूमिका फक्त सध्याच्या सरकारविषयी आहे. त्या सरकारमधून महाविकास आघाडीतून शिवसेना बाहेर पडायला तयार आहे. तुम्ही इथे येण्याची हिंमत दाखवा. समोर उद्धव साहेबांसमोर या आणि भूमिका मांडा. नक्की तुमच्या भूमिकेचा विचार होईल. 24 तासात परत या. हे मी परत सांगतो. मी जबाबदारीनं आणि हवेतले हे मी भूमिका मांडत नाहीये. 24 तासात तुम्ही मुंबईत परत या. उद्धव साहेबांसमोर आपण बसू आणि तुमची जी भूमिका आहे ती स्वीकारण्यासंदर्भात नक्की विचार केला जाईल.
Well, let's go across to Saurabh Gupta in Mumbai. Also, my colleague Akshay in Guwahati, where the rebels are holed up. Saurabh, how should we be reading Sanjay Raut's comments?
Well, you know, there is, of course, a lot to read in between the lines. This I've rechecked again with the top leadership to say whether is the Shiv Sena ready to, leave the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi alliance yet. The flat answer is no. But they say that if these MLAs demand that we have to leave, and if that's the only, way these MLAs are going to come back, then, but they have to come back first. It cannot be the other way around. They have to come back first, make that demand officially in a party forum. The party will then consider that demand and decide what's to be done with that demand. And after that party decides, they can say what they have to say or do what they have to do. It cannot be that you sit in Guwahati, sequestered in a hotel, paid for by someone else, the BJP protecting you through its state government in Assam and through its police in Assam. and then you dictate what's to happen in Maharashtra in terms of governance. The government in Maharashtra is not going to quit just because some MLAs have gone to Assam and sat there and are, passing dictates from there. So that's what the Shiv Sena stand is. You want the Shiv Sena to quit the MVA, come back to Mumbai first, and then we can consider what you are saying. Till you come back, there's going to be no consideration on what you're saying. That's point one. Point two is now, where does this leave the Congress and the NCP? Are the Congress and the NCP worried that the Shiv Sena may leave? Definitely yes, they are. But the Congress and the NCP have been in regular touch with the Sena, and the Congress and the NCP realize if there is to be a way out of this mess, somehow the rebels have to be brought back first and then cajoled, and then of course, some sort of understanding has to be reached, whichever way it may be. If these MLAs don't come back, then there's going to be a question of stability in the government, and that's something that the Congress and NCP are well aware of and are willing to play their part in terms of supporting Uddhav Thackeray to save the Shiv Sena and thereby save the government.